And good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. My guest this evening is John Clark, who is the executive producer of the Mr. Pumpkin Variety Show. John, welcome. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Bill Duncan, who is the program host of the Mr. Pumpkin Variety Show. Bill,
Sir,
welcome.
Pete.
How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yes.
And the man of the hour,
Here I
Mr.
am.
Pumpkin. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Hey, thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me down.
There you go. John, tell us a little bit more about the Mr. Pumpkin Variety Show and how it got the idea of getting started.
It started way back in 1988, 89. A lot of people know I shoot a lot of different community events in Middlesex County.
Right.
Parades, ice carvings, all kinds of stuff. And we ended up with all this footage, and we put it at the end of different programs that we produced over the years, to the point that we actually had enough to make another program. So just by luck, a couple days later, my doorbell rings, and I open the door, there's nobody there, and this voice says, "I'm down here." I got this pumpkin, said, "And what can I do for you?" "I'm looking for a job." Okay, so I figured give him my time, and I listened to his spiel, and he was pretty convincing. He says, "Okay, we got one half of our team, and we got to go find out another half." And later that week, my partner at the time in my production company, we were filming a wedding, and Bill was the DJ at the wedding, and we posed the question, would you want to be the host of this new show this idea we had? And he sat there and choked on the ziti.
Yes. It's like,
So that's how the show started, and it
Yeah,
it kind of took
that's
off
right.
from there. We didn't know where it was going to go.
Why do you
And-
always lie about that?
What?
Why do you always lie about that?
no,
It had,
I
it
told you
had-
to behave yourself.
It had.
I didn't tell him to go choke on ziti.
But in the first run we had 4,000.
I told him to choke on
viewers in
Penny
Middlesex County.
Alabata.
I'm talking now. You're not a you, okay? In the first run we
Oh,
had
go ahead and
4,000
keep
viewers
talking,
per
John.
week. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I can't get a word in.
No, it's gonna be
I
very-
can't get anything else.
It's gonna
I
be very
start talking,
difficult.
he talks. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
now you're mad, right?
Well, you won't have a script next week. Better watch out.
Yeah.
Okay, say something worthwhile, Johnny.
Go ahead. He's waiting.
What?
He's waiting for you to
What's the
say
question?
something worthwhile.
Oh, I have nothing else to say.
This is nice. He's mad in front of 30 million people right now.
30 million. Wow. You can do that?
We did it.
Oh, all right.
Johnny Mezzetti here. He knows
Why don't
everything.
you tell Pete here how long you've been away from television?
Yeah, Mr. Pumpkin, how long have you been away from television?
We took a little sabbatical for about 17 years.
Little sabbatical.
Yeah.
Traveled around a little bit.
Okay.
I couldn't get the seatbelt unfastened on the plane for 14 years.
14 years you were on an airplane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it took you a while to think about that one.
Well, not counting the time I was in the cockpit flying it. Yeah, I was stuck.
Did they let you fly the plane?
I owned the plane.
Oh, okay.
It's my own private biplane.
Let me guess. Is it orange?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is
It's a
it?
pumpkin 404.
And did they serve corn dogs?
Oh, Billy.
Yeah, you found his weak spot now, Pete.
Oh,
Absolutely.
corn dog. Matter of fact, you got any corn dogs here, Johnny?
No, I think John was supposed to bring the corn dogs tonight.
Well, he's mad right now because we blew his lines away.
That's okay. He'll get over it, Mr.
yeah.
He'll get over it,
Usually
Mr.
does,
Pumpkin.
Yeah. All right, so why don't you let Pete do his show, would you?
Oh, I thought his name was John.
No, that's John.
That's John.
That's Pete.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Bill, and you're
Mr. P.
Mr.
And you're Mr. P.
That's it.
Okay, Pete, do your job.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. P.
Yeah, he's pretty
Wow.
generous that way. Yeah.
Puts me in my place, but that's okay. So, what are some of the in the last run of Mr. Pumpkin? What are some of the most memorable experiences that you guys have gone and done?
Wow. Well,
We
we
bought a car.
bought a car.
We went to Mirandy Ford. We tried to make the show educational as well as fun.
That was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually had a
The
yes.
thing is, the bottom line is we want it to be a very wholesome family-oriented show, so families can sit down with their kids and in fact, this second time it's going to be Saturday nights, 8 o'clock, it's Mr. Pumpkin time
That's
for an
true,
hour.
right.
And it'll be seen statewide between Comcast, Valley Shore, and Frontier Communications. It'll be on all at the same time in all 169 towns in Connecticut.
Whoa, you said 169?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yes, he did. That's probably all the towns in Connecticut,
That's-
by the way.
yeah.
Last
That's
time
it.
we did
At
it
least I
was
could add
3
Mr.
towns.
Pumpkin.
It was only 3 towns the last time.
And so like I said,
It was
we've done.
Meatown.
We bought a car.
Oh, I'm
We've
sorry.
done. We did a thing on train safety with the Shoreline East Railroad.
Yeah, we were an Amtrak engine.
We took them to the.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
We
We
took
rode
them to the Central Connecticut State University
Observatory.
And where else we did? We
Drank Crystal Lake.
we went to Triskel and drank all 22 gallons of water.
That's it?
That's
Well,
it.
no, there's probably.
225 million gallons.
Get it straight.
Petey, my man, we did 12 years of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have boxes and boxes of tapes that I'm going through. We also found 3 cases of hats in our attic that belonged to Mr. Pumpkin.
In a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh boy. Ay,
no.
ay, ay. Now he's gonna.
So,
sing
I
it.
mean, we're getting through it. And we have 3 episodes up on the Mr. Pumpkin channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Pumpkin Variety Show channel on YouTube. And the first show that we put up, we had just under 800 people view it
Wow.
nationwide. I mean, we had people, for some reason, we got a big contingent of viewers in Kansas.
Well, that
Now,
makes
Mr. P is telling me that his family lives out in Kansas. So
They do it on Eloise.
Oh, well, Elvis,
Ah,
that's his
okay.
favorite. That's yeah.
the whole family
I won't say it's his favorite.
the whole family's like corn, corn. Yeah, they all have corns.
Right.
I got a couple gourds in there too. They're pretty nice people.
Now, anyway, so like I said, we do a lot of different things, and we have new segments that we're planning on the second run of the show.
Okay.
And we'll be doing.
We're going to
It'll be-
drive the Nautilus.
You mean the nuclear submarine?
Yeah. Yeah.
The one in Groton?
Yeah, they're going to give me my license.
Oh, yeah.
To drive the Nautilus.
Well, we call it pilot the Nautilus. Nautilus.
Excuse me. When you're a captain of the submarine, you pilot it?
I pilot it.
Okay.
You got your sea legs, Billy?
See, he even interrupts me, Pete, so
Okay.
don't feel bad.
That's
You got
okay.
your-
Okay.
You got your sea legs?
Yes, I do.
I don't have any legs, so.
I understand that. So what do? Roll around on deck?
Oh, you know the way that we get around, huh? Yeah.
Wow.
So you know how to fix a nuclear reactor if something happens to it?
Yeah, I'd call in the mechanic.
Oh, boy. Mechanic. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Oh, boy. So, Mr. Pumpkin, John and Bill were telling me they took you golfing not long ago.
Oh, yeah, boy, was I teed off.
Well, we were at, I believe we were at Torres' Range in Cromwell and
Okay.
looking around and playing a little golf.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Pumpkin's a little handicapped when it comes to playing golf.
Mr. Pumpkin, what's your handicap?
4,312.
Oh, all right.
As you can see, he shoots a rather high score.
Yeah, right.
So he needs a rather large handicap.
Is that the front 9 or the back 9?
It's every 9 there possibly is.
There you go.
So as we wrapped up the end of the segment at the driving range,
Yeah.
I said to Mr. Pumpkin, so do you want to go for a drive? And he responded something about a Cadillac and a Lincoln. I'm not really sure. It was something like that.
Yeah, something.
And so I pulled out my driver and sent him down the fairway, which was rather, that's why his nose is a little worn off by
It's a
now.
little crooked.
Yes.
And how far did he go?
Far enough.
Far,
65 feet, 70 feet.
about 70 feet.
He
I
took a
think, you know.
fly. He really took a fly.
Yeah, yeah. He bounces rather well. It's kind of
He
like a bumble. you know.
He does.
Well, we went to the observatory. We
I
did that
was giv-
experiment between a solid object and Mr. Pumpkin would fall to the earth faster.
You just stole
We
my
dropped
next
him off a-
question.
Huh?
You just stole my next question.
Yeah, we dropped him off a 3-story
Get
building.
used to it, Pete. Get used to it.
And, in fact, that show is coming up in the next couple months, that segment of
is
the
it?
observatory. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the professor was very, very nice to accommodate us. And,
Yeah.
It took a while to get through the taping because Mr. Pumpkin gets sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yes, he's very easily sidetracked
Yeah.
and
King
interruptive.
of the world when you get to the observatory.
And we give him his Valium and things like that. Keep him calm.
Corn dog.
Yeah, exactly. Corn dogs.
Exactly.
Mr.
You ever have
Pumpkin,
a
I
corn
think
dog?
John.
Pete, I'm sorry. Did I overtalk Did I ever talk you?
No, you're good. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask you ever had a corn dog.
I actually have.
Do you like them?
Really?
I do. I actually like them. I actually have family out in Minnesota.
Ooh. That's
Well,
not far
well,
from
that's-
Iowa.
No,
No, that's pretty neat.
it is.
Kind of cheesy.
It
That's
is
Wisconsin, Mr. Pumpkin. That's Wisconsin.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
but-
They got
but-
cheese there too.
Do they? In Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
You never heard of the Minnesota cheese dog?
No,
Well, neither have I, but I think it would be good.
I think it would be outstanding.
Yeah, you put mustard on your corn dog?
No, I just eat my corn dog as is.
Oh, you're just like me. Straight up.
Exactly.
Purist.
Straight up corn
I
dogs.
go in there, I say, give me the corn dog neat.
Exactly. No sloppy corn dogs there, Mr.
No
Pumpkin.
way.
No sloppy corn dogs.
You want to take me home and feed me tonight?
No, I think we're going to leave that to John.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't like corn dogs.
So since we announced we're doing the second run of Mr. Pumpkin,
Yes.
okay, to get his mind off food for about 30 seconds.
If we can.
The show has got a very strong reaction from the public.
Right.
And in the first 2 weeks, we had the Pumpkin Variety Show channel on YouTube. YouTube contacted me and said, what's going on with the show? The first 2 weeks, you had 16 and a half hours of viewing time. It was like,
Yeah.
wow. So the thing is, it's a clean show. It's a family-oriented show. It's a fun show.
And I had my TV on for 14 and a half hours.
Yeah, there you go.
So you were the guy viewing it for 14 and a half hours.
Me and my family at the pumpkin patch there.
But in the first one, we used to, when we filmed weddings, our production company filmed weddings, people would actually invite him to the wedding. They wanted
Yeah.
Mr.
Did you
Pumpkin
bring
and
Mr.
Bill
Pumpkin?
to be at the wedding. So we had to accommodate a number of brides and grooms to have them at the wedding. I can't tell you how many weddings we went to, but
1,312, John.
All right.
More or less.
More or less. Speaking of more or less, would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
no, take a bus to
Go
Milwaukee.
ahead.
We'll be right back.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with John Clark, Bill Duncan, and our friend here, Mr. Pumpkin.
That was Bill Duncan, you said?
That was Bill Duncan, correct?
Oh, I keep on forgetting that, too.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
He thinks he's a star wherever he goes, Pete. You'll have to
Exactly.
excuse him.
Exactly. So, John, we're going to relaunch you might say, we're going to replant the seed.
Well, Mr. Pumpkin's a seedy guy to begin with.
He is a seedy guy.
Very seedy guy.
Yeah, but look at the company that he hangs out with the
please.
exception of Bill and I.
That's right, exactly.
Right.
There's a little class here, and then there's...
Right, exactly.
And
Right,
We have,
exactly.
Yeah, we have no class, too.
Do you know,
Right.
do you know what the Mexican word for pumpkin seed is?
Because my memory falters one at a time. I'm pushing 68,
Walk
you
right
know.
by it.
We're to give people an idea of what's coming up on the new.
Why don't you
Mr.
just walk
Pumpkin,
all
which
over what I've
actually
got to
airs
say?
on Saturday night, January 19th, 2019, 8 p.m.
Okay.
on Valley Shore, 8 p.m. on Comcast, 8 p.m. on Frontier,
Right.
8 p.m. everywhere.
All over the place.
Okay.
You got that?
Unless you're in California, then it's 5
That
p.m.
becomes 5 p.m. Right.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Is that
Mr.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
something-
Yeah, it's 5.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Pumpkin is going to go get an eye test at Palmer Eye Care.
Okay.
We have lined up Mr. Pumpkin will play pickleball in Cromwell.
What is pickleball?
I have no clue.
All
I
right.
don't either.
Do you, Mr. Pumpkin? Do you know
Yeah,
what it is?
it's something that's you
Later in the
you
spring,
put a
Mr.
pickle on
Pumpkin
the
will
end
play.
of your mat. Well, no, where you put it on the end of your racket.
A pickle?
Yeah.
No. Come on. Now you're making this up.
Mr. Pumpkin's going to buy a house later in the spring.
Would I kid you about that, Billy?
Of course, when he buys a house, he needs a job, so he's going to go to an employment specialist
Okay.
and,
Oh,
and
cool.
try to get hired.
Oh boy.
Okay,
You
and
better
then
really be on good behavior.
now that he's got a job and he bought a house, he needs to buy a lamp for the house, so he's going to go shop for a lamp. And that's what we have so far. But
So they can call him Sonny because he's so bright.
that's right. So
Whoa, yeah, I like
people
this
that for people that are watching this, if you want,
Go ahead.
if you have any ideas, my email's up. It's John E. Clark at MiddlesexBroadcasting.com.
That's
Send me
his
an email.
private email,
and-
by the way.
What?
That's his private email.
Yes.
And if you want to,
It was private till about 3 seconds
That's
ago.
right.
And,
if you want to
also,
contact him on a Thursday afternoon, just
this guy ever shut up or what? No.
just go to any Dunkin' Donuts in the area.
It'll be there. Mr. Pumpkin, do you have an email address?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's Pumpkin Patch 497 37742 at yahoo dot hotmail.
Wait. At Yoo-hoo?
Yahoo.
Like the chocolate milk?
Yeah. Not Yahoo. Yahoo.
No, I know. I didn't know they had their own network. Apparently they did.
Yeah, I think they
Okay.
might. I think they might.
Try sending one there. and see
Yeah,
what
right.
happens.
See
See what
which is
happens.
bad.
And the last thing I want to say before I get interrupted again, I'll do this in 30 seconds, is if you want to sign up to do the introduction to the new show,
Yeah.
where people actually, we get them on camera for 15 seconds of fame. It's 8 o'clock, it's Mr. Pumpkin time, and you can have any person, individual, nonprofit group, or employee group. You tell us where you're located, we'll come down and visit you, we'll film you for the front end of the show, and then
Wait a
make you a
minute.
star.
Wait a minute.
What?
We're going to bring the show to them,
Well, we're bringing the camera to them. We're
and I've
leaving
got to
you home.
drive my lousy car all the way here to the studio, but we're going to bring the show to them?
Yes, apparently so.
Wow.
See, you have to understand, Pete, he's got a big ego.
Bigger than yours, John?
Much bigger. Much bigger and much
Mr.
wider.
Pumpkin, you got a
much
big,
bigger and
bigger
much
ego
wider.
than John Clark.
Much
I
bigger
got
and
a
wider.
bigger ego than anybody.
There you go.
Yeah, because I won the biggest ego award one time.
Ah,
Where did that take place?
That took place at,
the Corn Dog Festival.
no, you're close though. It was at the Corn and Chowder Festival.
Ah, okay. All right.
But the show, from talking to people at YouTube,
Yes.
has been a hit. And we're not even into the new season yet.
Oh my God.
We're showing the reruns from the first 12 years. We did it from 1991 to 2003.
Yep.
And it was we have everybody from bank presidents right down to custodians that watched the show. I mean, it was an amazing audience. The cross-section, the demographics was interesting because there were just so many people that watched it. And we had so many requests for do the front end of the show. You just couldn't possibly accommodate everybody. But the show, what we found out is families liked it because they saw people they knew.
Right.
Right.
They saw kids that they knew, the kids saw their friends, and it was a nice, clean environment all the way around. It's something you don't get on TV that often now, which is, and actually what started this whole thing on the second round is we took Mr. Pumpkin out for his birthday.
Yes, you did.
And
Where'd you
then,
go?
Really?
he laid it on to me. They wanted to do, him and Bill wanted to do another show, and I said, fine. I'm retired. I got all the time in the world.
John Clark took you out for your birthday, Mr. Pumpkin.
Yes.
Yeah, he set up a tent in the back of his house. It was nice.
Was it?
It was cozy. It was.
Pete, you can't win, okay? That's one of the things I've learned after 12 years. You can't win. There's no way you're going to win. Don't even try to win. You just basically throw the towel in.
Why are you leaning in towards him, John? You got something secret you got to talk to him about.
Nah.
Nah.
So, Bill, do you have a favorite memory of the first 12 years
Oh, gosh.
of Mr. Pumpkin, or a favorite episode?
Well, yeah, I think I can make this PG
You think
pretty much.
you think you
Yeah,
can
I think
make
I
this
can keep that
PG?
way.
All right, go for it.
One Christmas season, we went to Cromwell Square, where all the stores were all lined up, and there was a lingerie shop.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yes, and we went in, filmed for about, 45 minutes, and we were able to use absolutely none of it. Why,
None of
Mr.
it.
Pumpkin? Why?
Yeah, why, Mr. Pumpkin? What did you do? Did you make a spectacle out of yourself? Oh no, that's at Palmer Optical where you make a spectacle out of yourself.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I'm
getting
going to
your
take the
line.
fifth instead of this one, Pete.
You're pleading the fifth?
Yeah, well, I'll take the fourth and the third too, but the fifth is what's going to work for me here.
Oh, okay.
He's managed to learn a few things over the years. Usually he trips over himself quite frequently, but
I didn't trip over myself in anything in that lingerie shop.
Peter,
Help me.
first run,
help
we
me here,
did it
John.
for 12.
help me here.
We have 172 miles of uncut footage that we can't possibly show on TV. Does that give you an idea what I have to deal with?
We would, the Mr. Pumpkin show that we have is an hour long, right?
Right.
But we're doing just basically intros,
Right.
and then the intro to the next segment,
Right.
so on and so forth, and the ending.
Right.
Which takes up about, out of the hour, 15 minutes,
It should
20
take
minutes?
about 30 minutes most.
Yeah, most.
We
Well,
have about 46 years at the Durham Fair too. by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
This is true.
Oh, hey, John.
What?
Did you tell Mr. Pumpkin?
What?
Mr. Pumpkin, guess what John Clark and I did this past weekend?
Please don't bring that up.
What did you
No?
do?
Oh.
What, did you go to the Durham Fair?
Yeah,
No.
we should Durham Fair.
No, we didn't go to the
It's been
Durham
kind of
Fair.
quiet.
No, we go ahead, tell him. Tell him.
Should we tell him?
I've been embarrassed enough, but it doesn't. Nothing's going to.
Go ahead and tell me.
Nothing's going to
You,
bother me. at
you
this
opened
point.
your
All
mouth
right.
right now.
We went to the Old Saybrook Torchlight Parade on Saturday night.
Ooh.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Do you remember, Mr. Pumpkin, when you were the Olympic torch?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So
That's
you-
when I
What?
set my stem on fire.
They lit him on fire?
Yeah, he became the, at the end of one of the segments on YouTube right now, he turned into the Olympic torch. So
Talk about a hair-raising experience out there, Mr.
Absolutely.
Pumpkin.
Uh-oh.
In fact,
Boy, I tell you.
Torchlight.
Bet your match.
That
Yeah.
was hot
Torchlight
stuff.
Parade is one of the segments that comes up in January. It'd be one of the featured segments.
Thank you, John.
I had to get that word in because if I didn't, you'd say something, something.
Why do you keep leaning into me when you talk to me?
I don't know.
Whoa. Let me look in your eyes, John.
No, don't look in his eyes.
Wow.
I see a lot of dead space when I look at his eyes.
I tell you, yeah. So besides the lingerie shop, Billy, you have another.
Well, I mean, there's so many.
There's,
How many years did we do?
12.
12 years, and one a month.
Yeah.
One a month, so 144.
We got about
Roughly.
15 boxes of tape.
And I remember.
Cartons. I mean, full cartons of
Yeah,
tapes.
chip-
That's just a finished show. That's not including the studio footage, which
miles
is
of-
another.
We would be in John's. We used to be in John's bedroom because they threw us out of Comcast.
Whoa.
People say, "Oh, you're a nice studio." No, we're in our bedroom. I'm standing on one side of my
wait,
king-size bed.
I knew that would get him.
Bill was on the other side, and we actually had a black backdrop, and that's how we did the show.
hold it. You,
What?
shush for a minute.
Thank
Oh.
you.
What were you doing there, Mr. Pumpkin, in John Clark's bedroom?
I was on the pillow, and Billy was laying next to me, and we
All
were
right,
just-
now cut it out. That's just nonsense.
we were just talking about serious.
What about the
things.
podium?
Oh, I know the podium.
There you go.
What podium?
We have a podium.
We have a
have a
podium.
Oh, do we?
We have an official pumpkin podium that was made strictly for Mr. Pumpkin.
And we spared no
No expense.
expense
expense.
for backdrop,
Right.
plain black sheet.
It took about 37 books of S&H green stamps, but we got it.
That's it?
Well, you
it.
see, we would go to Comcast Studios and they'd give us a half hour. That's what you got, no more.
Right.
Well, we couldn't get 10 minutes worth of film out of half an hour, so they said, you guys can't come here anymore. That's it.
They threw us out.
They threw us out. So the only place we had to go was John's bedroom.
Can you imagine quality people like us? They threw us out.
So we showed up at John's at 6 and we left about 11.
Yeah, and then,
And then Judy threw you out.
And then Judy threw us out.
and
That's
then
right.
Judy threw him out of the bedroom.
Hey,
She had to go to sleep.
Oh.
But I'll tell you one thing.
yeah, what?
She can snore.
Wow.
Who, Judy?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I didn't even know he was in the bedroom.
See, he's probably under the bed.
Probably.
Because when she went to sleep, we put the black screen in front of the bed so they couldn't see her laying on the bed. Boy, she can saw wood when she was snoring.
Okay.
And Johnny's got that little bit of
Okay, our next topic is.
What is our next topic? What is as far as
Well,
what
like I
else
said,
is going on?
we're always looking for new ideas. Like I said, we give the email address and have
Yep.
people submit ideas, and we like to promote Connecticut business.
Okay.
We like to keep it clean for kids because we're cognizant of our audience.
Yep.
And basically, I mean, he comes across thinking he knows everything. He really doesn't know anything.
So he's like John Clark.
Yeah, he's like
We're gonna have
Long-lost cousin,
we're
three times
gonna have a
removed.
guess the pumpkin seed in the jar contest.
How many pumpkin seeds are in a jar?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
News to
know.
me,
About
it's,
9,000.
Hey, Mr. Pumpkin, how about in the spring we do a corn dog eating contest?
Okay.
Yeah?
You and me.
Yeah.
Ooh, you against Pete, huh? Who do you
Well,
think?
I think
to bring a lot
you
of
would,
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, right.
as long as Billy's hands can move fast enough.
One of the segments, Pete, that was real popular. John had somebody sent you, I think, old 8mm films.
Yeah.
From the parades from the '60s,
Mm-hmm.
and people would tune in and watch, and they'd say, "Oh my God, that's me when I was 16 years old." Wow. And that drew a lot of people in.
One lady called me. I had, in fact, the next day, I had 19 phone calls. One lady called me from Deerfield Avenue, Middletown. She says, "Are you the guy that had the footage on from the night last night?" I said, "Yes." She goes, I was channel surfing, ended up on the Access Channel, and I saw myself. I was 17. I was the head majorette at Middletown High. You had me, my brother, my mother, my father, my sister, my uncle. She says, and they're all deceased but me.
Wow.
And she said the tears were just flowing. So,
You know what, guys? We're out of time tonight, so I want to thank you guys for coming down. John, thank you, my friend.
we're just
We'll see
warming
you
up.
again soon.
We can't go another hour and a half.
I know. Bill?
Finally, good to see you in real life.
I know. Good to see you too. Mr. Pumpkin?
Yes, Petey, it's been nice talking to you.
You too. And hopefully we'll have you on again soon. And good luck with the show in January.
All right.
I'm glad you
On
said
behalf of Bill
January.
Duncan, Mr. Pumpkin, John Clark, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks and good night. We'll see you next time. Mr. Pumpkin, say good night.
Good night, Mr. Pumpkin.
Good night.